Hi everyone, let's go ahead and get started with the read files as the data frame. Previously we had seen how you can create the data frame from scratch and how you can create a series by reading a file. In this lesson I'll show you read a file as the data frame. Other than that, I'll be also showing you some basic information check for the data frame. This time I'm going to read here NBA file, nba.csv file. So to do that, you need to do here df, which is equal to data frame, pd, that's the pandas data frame, which I earlier imported pandas as the pd, dot data frame. Alright, so dot data frame is used to create a new data frame, but in fact we want to read a file. So you need to put here read and then press a tab in your keyboard. You will be given a list of the suggestions here. I'm going to select here a CSV. Thereafter, you can simply put your cursor between these two braces and then you can press shift and double tab. You will be given here a list of suggestions there. So these are the parameters which a read CSV file takes. First parameter is the file path, and file is nba.csv inside the data folder. That I'm gonna pass here data /nba.csv and then here df, which is a data frame. Now you see that I don't need to pass here any other parameters because all other parameters are default parameters and those parameters are automatically set for a CSV file. For example, delimiter is none, but although it is a CSV file and this one is CSV, so the delimiter is automatically a comma there. And if there is a header file, it will automatically try to find out there is a header file, it will take that. There is no index column, although we can define if we want to put any of these columns as the index column. And huge column is none, that means we are going to read all the columns available in the file. In previous lectures, when I was talking about the series, then we provided huge columns, a list of column, a single column actually, to read as the series. Similarly, you can pass there multiple columns. Let's say you have a 10 columns in your file, but you want to read just 2 columns. Then you can use huge column there to find out. And squeeze was used to squeeze a data frame into a series there. And these are the some of the other parameters. In the coming lectures, we will be talking a lot about all of these parameters in one by one. For time being, we have got a data frame NBA, and in this NBA data frame, we have a total 458 rows and there are 9 columns. And to get that, you can simply write here df.shape. With this, you will be given here these are the rows, so rows and the column. 458 rows and 9 columns are there. You can check here df.columns. By typing this, you can get the number of columns. Here the list of the columns available in the data frame. df.columns, you just write there col and press a tab in your keyboard. This will automatically complete there. You have name, team, number, position, age, height and weight, college and salary there. Other than that, we can apply here head and tail function to get the first few rows of the data frame or last few rows. So by using head, we get the first few rows. So df.head, that's mean get the first 5 rows of the data frame. You are given here first 5 rows of the data frame. Similarly, if you use here a tail, df.tail, you will be given here last 5 rows of the data frame. Similarly, if you provide here value inside this head, those number of head values you will be given from the beginning. So like you pass here head 1, that's mean the first row you will be given as the output. Head 2, that's mean the first 2 rows will be given as the output. Similarly, you can apply here df.tail2, that's mean last 2 rows will be given. So from the last 1 and 2 rows will be given to you. But suppose that you want to select here some random rows, then how would you do that? It is very simple. You need to just put here df.sample, and then you don't need to pass here anything. It will automatically select a single row and then it will return that single row as the output. As many times you run this, you will be seeing this. You will be seeing here these rows will be changing randomly. But if you pass here the parameter like a 10, so you will be given here a random 10 rows. Similarly, if you pass here the parameter as the 3, you will be given here randomly 3 rows there. So this sample is very useful where you want to test your data frame randomly. That means, let's say you have the data frame and you are not sure about the data. You just want to make sure that if everything is correct. So one way is to do exhaustive analysis, which takes a lot of time. Other way to do is that you do a random sampling or random testing. So for the random testing, you just do the df.sample. You will be given here a random row and then you can verify if that is correct. Let's move ahead and check your data frame df here. So this df, I can check it with the shape, which we have already done there. df.ndim we can check, that says that the number of dimension. So the number of dimension of the data frame is always 2. For series it is 1. For a panel it is 3. Similarly, you can check here the length of the data frame df, length of the df. So the length of df says that the total number of rows present into the data frame. Similarly, you can also check here the data type presents into the data frame. df.dtypes, with this you will be given here the data types of each columns here. So it says that the name and team is the object, so preferably these are treated as the string. So the position is also here a string, height is a string, college is a string, and other than that these are treated as the float value. Other than that, you can also check the data frame information, that you can type something like this, df.info. With this you will be giving the information of the data frame for each columns here. So this says that if you read this data frame, it says that the range index is 458 entries starting from 0 to 456. So it says that the index starts from 0 to 457. This is not always necessarily it will start from here. If you have a custom index or you have some column, you have set some column as the index, so probably this value will also change. Thereafter it says that there are total 9 columns and each of these column names are here and non-null count are here. So anyway, the total count are here 458, but non-null count is here 457. So there is one row always a null value in all the columns. Other than that, here college have a lot of null rows, and similarly the salary also have a lot of null rows there. And then it is the data type. So for each of these columns, these are treated as their data type. The total memory requirement for this data frame is 32 KB. Similarly, you can do here df.describe. So df.describe, describe all the columns here, those which are float or integer, or you can say a non-object columns here. So you see there 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there are 4 columns which are a float 64 data type. So those 4 columns are actually presented here. It says that the total count present in those 4 columns, and these are the non-null values, that's mean the actual values. Then it says that the mean of these column values here, standard deviation, the minimum present in these columns, 25% means the first quantile, and here it 50%, that's the second quantile. A second quantile is also treated as the median. In coming lectures, we will be discussing the quantiles when we will be doing a data frame plotting as the bar plot and the bar chart. Then here is the third quantile, and then the maximum value present in each of these columns. Alright, so this is all about in this lesson. I'll see you next one.